Thanks, Kevin. Well, we've all heard the old saying, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. But does that remain true when buying and selling items on social media? Well, we have financial expert Farnoosh Torabi sharing tips to help protect you and your loved ones from these costly schemes. Thanks so much for being here, Farnoosh.
Happy to be here. Thanks, Cheryl.
Well, almost everyone knows someone who has been scammed or nearly scammed through a social media marketplace. Tell us, what are some of the most commonly scammed items?
Yeah, the list is long, and you're right. A lot of us know someone, or we've been that someone who's gotten scammed. Based on JP Morgan Chase data, nearly half of scams reported to Chase by their customers originate on social media. And a lot of times these scammers are asking for payments through Zelle or wires. And to answer your question, what are these scams? The most common ones on social media marketplaces are rental properties, listings for home services, pet sales, event ticket sales. What happens is scammers will usually post these items for sale at very, very low prices, like you're shocked, and that's a red flag. And then they want payment through a method that does not have payment protection. And then what happens is often those who get defrauded, they put in the payment, they send the payment, and then they don't get the product, or if they do, it's not what they thought it was going to be, not even close.
Okay, so you need to look out for that payment protection before putting all of your financial information in. Are there any other steps consumers can take to protect themselves from falling victim? It's interesting you mentioned rental properties. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, supply is low for homes right now, and so I think that scammers are really leaning into the demand that they know is out there and the scarcity that's out there. And so some other tips is just to slow down when you're on a social media marketplace and you're thinking about buying something. Just, again, do the sniff test. If it's too good to be true, do some extra research by either going off the social media website and doing some research there, put in the name of the company, the word fraud, see what comes up. These scammers, these scammers also will deploy a sense of urgency. Like they want you to buy it very quickly. And whenever you're sort of rushed to do anything, it's likely you're going to make a mistake, likely you're going to not see some of the red flags. So just know that ahead of time, that if you sense that they're like, you have to buy this by today, or the deal goes away tomorrow, or in the next hour, that's usually a trick that these scammers use.
Okay, so that sense of urgency, and you make a great point to slow down, because sometimes we see that great deal and we're like, oh my goodness, I need to capitalize on this right now. I need to get in on this, but you need to take a step back and actually do your research. Any other tips to stay protected or anything else consumers should know?
So the payment piece of this is the most important. How you pay is of the utmost. So I like to use always a credit card because there's purchase protection. So even if and it happens to the best of us, if I happen to fall for a scam, then at least I know my credit card will be there to protect me. For other sort of payment methods like Zelle, for example, I think should only be reserved when you are exchanging money between friends and family and people that you trust, never strangers on social media. These scammers will push you to pay through these payment platforms that don't have payment protection. They're asking for wires, they're asking for gift cards. These are red flags, and not only are they red flags, but even if it was a non-red flag, I think it's always just important to be extra careful. Again, only for friends and family and people you trust, I would use Zelle, but I would reserve the credit card for purchasing on these social media marketplaces with vendors I don't know.
Yeah, make sure you do have that payment protection. Well, where can we go for more information to continue to educate ourselves and our loved ones to make sure we don't fall victim to these scams?
Yeah, the scams are evolving, and so we need to stay informed all the time. And Chase just launched a new free website where they have housed actionable tips to spot and avoid scams on social media. They're going to teach you how to pay online safely. Go to chase.com/don't-get-reeled-in. Chase.com/don't-get-reeled-in.
Well, thank you so much for these valuable tips. Certainly something we all need to know. Thanks so much.